Good afternoon. Today I'm going to go over how to make your stained glass window project, at least the main strategy you could take to be successful with this. So let's just run through the requirements. We're doing a stained glass window design. It can be just geometric or it can be representative of something. You need two linear equations, two lines on it. There need to be at least 6 more lines, but you'll do that no matter what. There need to be 2 that are linear. You need to form in there 2 parallelograms, 2 triangles, and 2 rectangles or squares of different sizes. Of course, all of these should be different sizes, and for each of these we're looking for a bit of classwork that has the perimeter and the area. Perimeter and area. Okay, so let's dive in. I'm just going to show you, I'm going to sort of run through the project in a very fast way, and then you can slow down and repeat these steps for yourself. So first thing I would do is I'd set up my paper. Here you've got a graph paper, and I've got a y-axis. I just numbered it. It's easiest to keep this as a positive value, not put the axis in the middle of the page. So my origin is down here. Excellent. Next, let's start with my 2 linear equations. So I'll do one positive. Let's go ahead and just, I'll put the y-intercept at 8. And let me just decide on a simple, let's say I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, up 5 over 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. Yep, slightly off the page. I'll have to estimate that one. And I'm just going to connect the dots here. And that'll be my first line. And, I didn't even think about that. This line actually reduces. You will want to make it precise. You do not need to draw arrows at the end, but that'll be my first line. I would sketch everything on pencil first if I were doing this, but I'm going to go ahead and record the work on this. I'm going to put line A right here next to that line. Maybe put a box around it so it's labeled. And for line A, I'm going to write the linear equation that is. So y equals, the y-intercept is 8, so I've got plus 8 here. And I need the m for the slope. Well, it's up 5 over 10. If I divide by 5, that's up 1 over 2. So 1/2 x plus 8. All right, there's my linear equation. That step's done. I could do the same thing. Let's say I do a line starting at 30, and I'll go down the exact opposite slope, so down 2 over 1. And I'm just going to get as much of that on my paper before it. Your line will be much more precise if you connect the furthest dots. So I'm putting in as many as I can here before I connect the dots. Excellent. Push your pen down. Line that up with the very end. There we are. Okay. Excellent. So now that I've got those, I need to... Oh, I should probably write that down while I'm there. So this time it's nice negative. It's y equals, and I did the opposite slope. So down 2 over 1. So negative 2 over 1x plus 30. Great. So next goal would be making my rectangles, triangles, and parallelograms. So let me start with let's start with the triangle. Why don't I start by making a triangle right here? I've got my base. I'm just going to use the very bottom of this as the base, and I'm going to make the top of the triangle right here. So I'm sort of planning out a triangle along this line, and I just need one more line. How about let's do a right triangle, and I would go here. So I'm going to do a completely vertical line straight up like this. Okay. Great. So this is going to be the triangle of my shape. I might make the edges a little darker, and let's go ahead and label this shape with a letter. So let's go ahead and, I've got line A, I've got line B, so let's call this shape C. And I would just faintly write a C here for the shape and make the edges a little bit darker for the project. Great, so right here, I'm going to do my two triangles. So I'm going to go ahead and recreate that. This is shape C. And it looked like, let's see here, how big is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up. So I would draw it on this paper, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And how many over? 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 over. Great. And I would just connect these. Excellent. So, first off, it's a right triangle. I would go ahead and just label the sides. So this one was 6, this one was 3. And we just need our two calculations. We're going to find perimeter and area. I'm going to start with area because that'll be a little faster here. Area, we're going to use a formula for triangles. We're just doing 1/2 base times height. So I'm going to do 1/2. The base is 3, the height is 6. If you had a triangle like this with two diagonals, the base can be here. The height is the right angle to the top of the triangle. So whatever from the base forms a right angle going up to the top, that would be the height. Okay, 1/2 base times height. So 1/2, 6 times 3. 6 times 3 is 18. I'm going to show my work. 6 times 3 is 18. So the area of this triangle is 9. And honestly, these are centimeter squares. I believe each of these is a centimeter. Maybe slightly off, but I could go ahead and write centimeters squared. 9 centimeters squared. Great. So you would repeat that with the whole other triangle again. But now let's do our perimeter. Well, I've got a right triangle. So for anything that's diagonal, we need to do Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is side A, this is side B, this is side C. So I'm going to do A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And in this case, side A is 6. 6 squared plus 3 squared. And you are going to have to round. Let's say rounding to the 10th for this assignment. 36 plus 9 equals C squared. I get 45 equals C squared. And I would need to use a calculator for this. I'm going to pull one up here. So, square root of 45 is 6.7 when I round it. So we're going to say square root of 45 equals 6.7. And then I'm going to go ahead and write that right here. 6.7 units. Okay, so perimeter, I'm going to add up all three sides. So I'm going to write 6 plus 3 plus 6.7. And when I combine those, the perimeter is going to be 15.7 centimeters. All right. So this triangle is done, and you would repeat with another triangle. Awesome. Let's add a rectangle into this. Square is pretty simple. Again, rectangles and squares, it'll probably be easier to use horizontal lines for that. Let's go ahead and just put one line up here just to make it look good. We go right across at 30. Okay, and I'll go across at 34. Great. And I'm going to use this rectangle right here, this square space or rectangular space. I'm going to go ahead and label this D so that I can keep track of everything. And this one was C. And I'm going to go ahead and copy this rectangle, make it a little darker on the edges. 1, 2, 3, 4 up. 1, 2. Let's see here. I can see how far over that is. That's 12 over. Okay. So down here, I would do a 6 by 12. Sorry. 4 by 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so as part of the project, we do want to draw the main shapes on, because I'm really checking the work paper, the stained glass. You get a small percentage of the grade based on your artistic work here, but you're getting the main grade for your math work here. So this was shape D in my list, and I would do, okay, first let's do perimeter. So perimeter is the distance around. So I'm just going to fill in 12 because this is a rectangle. So 12 is here, 12 is here, 4 is here. And I am going to just add those up. So 4 plus 4 plus 12 plus 12. It's 24, 32 equals 32 units. Great. For area, area equals just base times height. So I just need the base is 12. Base equals 12. Height equals 4. 12 times 4 equals 48 centimeters squared. And that one's done. Again, you're responsible for 2 of these. Okay, moving on. Our last shape is a parallelogram, and I'm almost halfway done with the project in this short video. So let's make one parallelogram, and then again you would make one more parallelogram, one more triangle, one more rectangle or square. Color your stained glass window in, and voila. Okay, so for a parallelogram, we want 2 lines to be parallel. I'm going to use some of the other lines I've already got here because they're good lines here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a, let's see here. You know, I'll do 2 more diagonals. I'm going to do a diagonal one from here to here. It looks like, yeah. So first step, making sure my line is consistent. So I'm following the slope by putting all these little dots so that I can connect the farthest points of this line, make it look good. So I line up from the very top of the paper right here with my ruler to the last possible dot, and that's what I connect. Great, that's going to form one side of my parallelogram. Oh, I've already got a triangle right there. Now, sides, you can share one side with another shape, but most of these shapes should be on their own. And what I need is a line that's parallel to this. So in order to do a parallel line, I need to keep the slope the same. So I'm going to do that same diagonal, whatever that slope is, one more time up here. Okay. There we are. And voila. Excellent. So here is my parallelogram. I'd make it darker for the sake of the project. And let's label it. This is shape E, and the last one I'll do in this video. So let me go ahead and count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and here that is. So that is 8. And I need to see how far down that went. So diagonally it went 1 diagonal, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 8 across. and those 4 diagonals. So why is this a parallelogram? Well, because this side is parallel with this side, and this side is parallel with this side. I could go ahead and label what I know here. 8 is here. Let's go ahead and start with area. Area equals base times height. So in this case, let's just find the height. The height is going to be the vertical distance from the top to the bottom. So from the base, here's a base, 8, the height, 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. So the area here is going to be 8 times 4, so it is 32 centimeters squared. Now to find the perimeter, I need the length here. Now this length will be equal to this one. I just need to find out how far they are. So what I'm going to do, and this is a main trick to the whole project, is I'm going to make a triangle on the outside, a right triangle here of this diagonal shape. So I sort of do the rise and the run right here. See this dashed line? So this is down 4 and over 4, this right triangle. And so to find this length here, let's call it x. I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem. So 4 squared plus 4 squared equals x squared. 16 plus 16 equals x squared. And I'm just using Pythagorean theorem here. 32 equals x squared. And when I take the square root of 32, I have x. Let's go ahead and get that value. So 32 square root. I'm going to round it up, so I have to round that to 5.7. So x equals 5.7. Great. So here equals 5.7. And if that side is 5.7, this also would form the same right triangle, so this would be 5.7. Excellent. So for perimeter, I would do 8 plus 8, that's my bases here, plus 5.7 plus 5.7. All right, I'm getting 11.14 plus 16. I'm getting 27.4, I believe. I'm doing that in my head. I might double check on a calculator before I actually turn in my work. So there you have it. Over half the project done in about a 15-minute, 17-minute video here. Your requirements go a little bit beyond this. You would still need a second parallelogram, a second triangle, and a second rectangle and square, both of which with the perimeter and area calculations. Once you're done with that, you shade this in. Just pick a color scheme, do different colors for different panels, and there you have your stained glass window, demonstrating a lot of the geometry and linear equations we've learned this year. All right, I thank your minds and your hearts. Have a great math afternoon.